like every book we've ever read, we hit on those kind of social, cultural issues in our discussion. And I love that. And again, I think that's why, like when we did Meet the Artist, I think that's part of the reason I love Edie so much. One, because she's a part of the community and I see she's on now, so I'll say more nice things about her. But also because I think her artwork had like a social connection to what she was doing and why she was doing it. And I think so many, so when we're doing Advent or Lent, and I'm not a very religious, churchy person, so I've learned a lot, but the teaching is like, here's history, here's church teaching, here's community discussion. So I think if we're going to have themes, those are exactly the elements, regardless of the topic. Those are the elements that draw me in every time.
Well said.
Yeah, thanks, Kristen, because that's basically what I was trying to say as well. It's those three, because because I think if we chose only one of the three, then I don't think we would feel the same energy at the end of the discussion. There's something for everybody.
So I have a question, and it's related to this question. How liturgical or strictly tied to the liturgical season does this online experience want to be or need to be? Would it be offensive to skip an Advent teaching because something else was happening? Would it be offensive to not do? There's a point where you've had 80 shows so far. This is not going away. So at 400 shows, when you've done 8 Lents, right? Essentially, I believe that math is roughly right. Are you going to do Lent again? How much more can you learn about Lent? With the knowledge that a lot of people are religiously, for those who are spiritually or religiously active, you're also getting fed a lot of this information in your home church. So that's the only thing that I would worry about with some of the themes, would be getting stuck on themes because there happen to be part of the church calendar.
I think that's a really good question and point, Kevin, and one that we spend quite a bit of time talking about. We do in a way observe what is called the Christian liturgical calendar year, in that we do talk about Advent, we do talk about Lent, but we also talk about Kwanzaa, we also talk about Seder, and we also talk about Hanukkah, and we talk about the religious seasons of other religions, as well as just Christian. And like with our series coming up, beginning in 2 weeks, we're observing Lent in that it is a specific period of weeks in the year, but what we're going to be talking about is saints in our individual lives. It's not going to be specifically Christian in nature. And so your question is really good. Will there come a time when, even though we don't observe Christian liturgical seasons in a doctrinal way, in an orthodox way, we do acknowledge them? And there may literally come a time, when we don't want or necessarily need to do that anymore. And I hope, that we will continue to ask for the kind of feedback you're giving us tonight, when questions like that become really, really salient for us as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. And thank you, Ken. And thank you I just lost, like, everything went blank down here. So I'm back on. I want to honor our time. I know we may go a little bit long. I know if you've got to jump off, jump off. We so appreciate this. I have one more poll and then one more question. And so the poll that I want to head out with right now, unless that part did go away for me. Barb, can you make me my host again? Can you make me host?
I will right now.
Thank you.
Okay.
And now I can launch a poll. Outstanding. So the last poll we have is really quite an important one. And you can answer the poll, but I also encourage you to answer it in the chat. Is what are you actually coming here for? Like, why do you choose? Many of you are regular attenders, and I'll be careful with that because for some of you that might mean once a month, a couple times a month, you know. But why do you actually show up? You have choices. In 2020, everywhere was in a pretty tight lockdown, right? And people were just learning how to Zoom, for God's sake. In 2021, there were less restrictions on people, and people were able to get out and go face to face with their friends and family in person, somewhat. In 2022, that changes day by day, but people do have choices. And what we want to make sure we are clear on is why you choose to come to Sanctuary Online on Tuesday night. So a lot of you making it a priority or topic based. If you could go into the chat room and maybe offer up an answer to that question. Why do you choose Sanctuary Online when we know you have other choices on Tuesday night? Like my mother, who's currently watching The Curse of Oak Island, which she can't miss, even though it looks to me like watching paint dry, you know?
It's the best show ever. What are you talking about?
I watched the reruns with her, Kevin.
Yeah.
So Janice is saying, love learning new things. I'm surprised that nobody said, if I have absolutely nothing else to do, I'll tune in. That's okay. If you're making it a priority, Kristen, thank you. So it's community to you. Even if you think the topic's like, yeah, whatever, you still show up for the bodies. Yes?
Somebody's gonna say something. I've never shown up and slept through it. So, you know.
Thank you for that.
Oh, sorry.
The bar is so high.
And the other
Anybody
part of
else?
mine was not only do I love to learn new things, but I also like to hear other people's input because that just expands the learning.
Just exit out. I'm already logged in.
Yeah,
I'm trying. Well, I can't turn the volume back up with your.
Thanks, Janice. I got that. So loves the learning, love the sharing, love learning about other people and chatting. And Brendan, you're a combo. Thank you, my friend. That makes you a 1 and a 2, so you're still Trinitarian. So I'm catching on, Brendan, to your voting style. I gotcha. All right, it is 8 o'clock, and I have an incredibly important question. Thank you. Thank you for your answers to that. I am hearing an echo. Yep, sorry. Something may have happened to my system in here that I'll fix next time. Yep.
Just
in the chat.
No survey, no poll.
No poll, but in the chat. And this is where we'd love you to actually make comments and describe anything you'd like to see us do. That might be, I'd like to see more of this. I think you guys could do less of this. I've never seen you do this. Would you do it? Cynthia, it is our intention, we can actually answer that one, to flesh out and put the entirety of an upgraded, current, multiculturalized CLM up this fall. Absolutely. And we're trying to figure out how to do that in a way where, you know, If we do it on Tuesday, that changes things. If we do it on Thursday, so we're looking to really come with a brand new CLM experience.
Well,
so that some,
I think that would be a wonderful way to grow the group.
Yeah,
I know I've already spoken to some of my friends that are willing and interested in coming aboard when that starts out. And I think it's, every group is either expanding or dying, and we want to keep growing. And I think that group will just go.
Yeah, thank you. It was our largest attended of anything we've done, and attended in force. Many people actually made all 4 shows, so it was something that we really tracked. So we're working on that for sure. I'm not seeing any other ideas in the chat room. Are you guys tired? Is it time to go watch the recording of The Curse of Oak Island? Thank you, Brendan. Mental health struggles. Thank you, Brendan. Our second show was actually about mental health, and we've recently asked the author to come back on. He did a great job, and that might be a series, right? Our own mental health, self-care, and maybe we know other people who need. Some folks are very shut in. Some folks have intellectual challenges and social challenges that this is not making any easier for them. Absolutely. Brandy, more artists, more CLM, how to tackle reading the Bible. When you figure that out, Brandy, would you tell all of us pastors?
It's Kim. I didn't change the name. It's Kim.
Oh, hi, Kim. Sorry. I'm looking over here. Summer retreat. Kevin, can you speak to that? What would that look like?
Cool.
Getting everybody off their butts behind the cameras and in person down at Sanctuary.
Sanctuary online, offline.
Right.
Offline. Sanctuary offline.
Yeah,
Kevin,
right.
last year we were supposed to go camping. We have a community called Sanctuary on the Road. And because we had to cancel the camping trip 2 summers ago, we actually went camping online. And it was very interesting. I'll put it that way. But we tried hard to get outside and do it from behind a fire pit. And it was very interesting. Keep those ideas coming, Barb's saying. Speaking to volunteer programs, Kristen, can you say more?
I feel like I was thinking there's this woman that I'm friends with around here who was just telling me about this program that's in a town away from me that I'd never heard of and is so amazing and awesome, right? So I think if, I love hearing people in this community. I'm sure some of you belong to an organization that just does awesome things for people who need it. And it's a pretty specific topic. It's not a series, but maybe one night if anyone wants to come forward and talk about how they volunteer, where they volunteer, local groups, national groups.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
I'd love to hear what people do. I think it sparks every time I hear about somebody I know who's volunteering, it sparks me to motivates me to volunteer or clean up my closet and drop off some clothes somewhere or, just give back.
100%.
Fundraisers, another one, like how people run fund. I know you guys do how to fundraise. I know Barb does one
Giving Tuesday.
for Giving Tuesday specifically, but other groups or events like how you can do that and bring those.
Thank you. Cultural awareness speakers, Glenda, can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, what I'm thinking with that is if we had someone that could come in and just speak with us and answer questions on the various diverse groups across North America. It could be Aboriginal, it could be Muslim, it could be any one of them. I mean, there's 100 to choose from. But if we had someone that was specifically home in that community, then and recognize that we might be asking some hard questions, I think it would be wonderful to just sit back and listen and then ask some of the questions that we all want to know the answers to.
Glenda, thank you. And let me ask a question. I'm gonna take that in and bounce it back out to you. We also have thought about this summer to do just that, speakers, not us, like different speakers. And I heard Kristen tonight say, I'd love to hear from people inside the sanctuary community. So I wonder if blending the two of them, if you all have different skills and talents, I think I did ask, anybody would like to do a show or an idea, or you have a gift. Barb's got your sister, Barb, right, does amazing genealogy and can teach us how to chase a family tree. Kelly, I know you're like the crafting goddess over there with different things like that, how to do certain crafts that might be seasonal, you know, doing them early for Valentine's Day or for Thanksgiving or Christmas. All right, I don't want to kill this here, but I do want to, I'm curious, Judy and Karen, Onetta, Bud, anybody that hasn't spoken tonight, Kay, you want to make sure that we capture your thoughts, why we asked you on here, what you think is important about our programming going forward.
I'm going to give you, the good news is I'm going to give you the short version because you kind of said it. It's always, thank you for inviting me and wanting to hear my voice. I think wanting more is important. So I like the thought of not, you discern the frequency. Is it, you want the topic, we're spreading it out so people will come back wanting more rather than leaving saying, I've had enough. I know no one says that. But more important to me, what I'm getting is that allowing a diverse number of speakers talk about a topic rather than having the same. What I mean that it's always great to have an education and to want to know about a group, but inviting others, outsiders, to talk about it from their social context and create an environment where people are willing to ask, for lack of a better term, uncomfortable questions.
Yeah.
Perhaps even pronounce it the wrong way, but from the sincerity to learn rather than to assume one knows, and make it a sacred, open place and a healing place, because that's important. A safe place to make sure you can ask the semi-dumb question, the healing question, because the same question you want to ask somebody else is wanting to know. But I do think the diversity of speakers allows, again, getting away from that mono perspective of a certain group always knowing that it's not true. That's all.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, your voice is always welcome here. We always appreciate when you come. You all are making me think of, like, our Kwanzaa panel was a number of people who you didn't know, who we introduced you to, and they not only took questions, but they told their stories. And from that, we invited a number of those speakers back. I mean, so again, what I'm hearing is a bit of inside the community, but we still love hearing folks from outside the community. And I'm also hearing kind of panels, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 speakers. So there's a different perspective, not one right way, one right idea, right? Or one person carrying the shoulders of that community. This is how we see things, things like that. So I'm hearing you. Thank you. Once again, Barb is saying that if you wake up in the morning and go, oh, I should have said this, please talk to us at sanctuaryinthewoods.com is our email, and we would love to hear from you. I'm being real aware of time. It's 8:10. Anybody out there who just can't sign off tonight without sharing one more thing, or anybody who hasn't had a chance to speak yet tonight? Thousand 1,002.
And Shelby, there were a couple of folks who they may not have spoken, out loud here, but I saw that there were some comments in the chat from some of the folks that maybe didn't speak out loud. So
absolutely, and we hope that you voted in the polls, and yeah, man. Well, my friends, this meant so much to us. I can't tell you how much you mean, right? The audience, yourselves, you're the ones who come. We have our perspective, but we're on one side of the Zoom screen and you're on a different side of the Zoom screen. It matters so much to us to hear, because we want to stay relevant. We want to provide education, inspiration, you know, conversation and community. We want to build and expand our community. So please know that anyone is always welcome. You're always welcome to bring someone along. You're always welcome to book club, whether or not you've read the book, touched books, ever read a book, we don't care. And to be a part of something that has come near and dear to our hearts, something that we never expected to create. But Kevin, if we ever hit show 400, I hope it's as relevant as show number 4 was on mental health, on change cycle, on Black Lives Matter, on the important commentary, you know, of our day. So I'm going to end this recording after a whole bunch of applause from us, Barb and Cheryl, Ken and Tom. Maybe we can unmute, and to these folks,
thank you.
Give that round of applause that sometimes comes our way.
Thank you very much, you guys.
Thank you so much.
You're awesome.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're awesome.
Brendan, thanks for making it, my friend. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Talk to you soon, everybody.